The information in this module is accurate and complete to the best of our knowledge. All recommendations are made without guarantee on the part of the author or the sponsoring institutions. The author and the sponsoring institutions disclaim any liability in connection with the use of this information.
As you finish this module, you will be able to decide on how to test a hypothesis by means of inferential statistics. Hypothesis testing is a comparison between two opposite statements with the purpose of making an informed decision based on the available information. One of these statements is called the null hypothesis HO, which is the hypothesis we wish to test, and the other one is the alternative hypothesis, which is the statement contradicting the tested hypothesis. The procedure to test a hypothesis is to analyze the available data to decide whether it provides enough evidence indicating that the null hypothesis has to be rejected, and therefore the statement made in the alternative hypothesis is true, or there is no enough evidence to reject HO, and it is possible that this statement is true. It is always the case that one hypothesis is true while the other is false. In other words, a man cannot be both guilty and innocent at the same time. When is it considered that the evidence is enough? Let's say that the man in front of the jury is being charged for possession of a medical drug. There is going to be enough evidence when they determine that the amount of the medical drug found is more than the one allowed by the law, which let's suppose that is 2 grams. In statistics, this information is summarized in terms of probabilities. There is going to be enough evidence when the probability obtained with the test, also known as the p-minus value, is lower than the one allowed by the user. This last probability is known as alpha. A default value of alpha is 5%. If the probability is higher than the alpha defined, the null hypothesis fails to be rejected, and then it can be said to be true. In a test, the user can make a hypothesis on the value of a parameter such as mu, sigma, or the proportion. The user can test whether the parameter is equal to a certain value against it is greater than that value, similar than the scenario of the man on trial. The value is less than that value, or if it is different than that certain value, where it could be either greater than or less than. For all of them, each result is going to be summarized in terms of p-minus value to be compared against alpha, and the same criteria mentioned before will be used to reject or fail to reject the HO. When rejecting the HO, it is concluded that the parameter is greater than, less than, or different from the tested value on each of the scenarios mentioned respectively. In this module, you learned that a hypothesis testing presents a null hypothesis and an alternative hypothesis that are opposite and cannot be true at the same time. The value of a parameter can be tested by means of gathered data.